We are less than 100 days away from the midterm elections, and there are several primaries still on the calendar, including Michigan, which is about 1 week away. In Maine, Democrats have picked progressive former state legislator Troy Jackson to face Republican Susan Collins in November. He replaces Graham Plattner, who dropped out after winning the state's primary earlier this year.
Now, all of this comes as Democrats kick off a new strategy into the midterms ahead of the 2028 presidential race. Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries delivered a midterm pitch that he says will lean on affordability for Americans, taking back the House, and fair elections. Listen to this.
I think that I continue to have confidence in state and local authorities in making sure that there's going to be a free and fair election in November. And if modest or minor challenges emerge, such as the one that was disclosed voluntarily by the authorities in New Jersey, that it is immediately corrected. And that's what I expect will continue to happen. Unfortunately, what we've seen from Donald Trump is that in this particular case, Republicans have adopted voter suppression as an electoral strategy because they have failed to actually deliver on making life more affordable for the American people.
All right, let's get down to the bottom of this with CBS News political director Fin Gomez, who has his shovel. We're ready to start digging. He is live with us from Washington. I just saw Fin in New Orleans at the National Association of Hispanic Journalists Conference, and we had a lovely time. But back to politics, back to work. Let's talk about Maine. Who is Troy Jackson, and why was he the top choice for Democrats' effort to flip Maine's Senate seat?
That's right, Adriana, and it was great to see you in New Orleans at that NAHJ conference, the conference for Hispanic journalism, that journalists that congregate every year. So it was great to be there. But yeah, on politics, on Troy Jackson. Look, he is the former Maine Senate president, a former logger from the state's rural north, and he's been one of the most recognizable, I think probably like one of the loudest progressive voices in that state. So I think part of the reason that party leaders were so quick to rally around him, Adriana, after Plattner dropped out, was because he already had that statewide name ID. He's got strong ties with organized labor, which is a crucial voting bloc there in Maine, and his populist progressive message focused on blue-collar voters, very similar to Plattner in that vein. He does call himself a pickup progressive, so very similar brand, if you will, politically. And I think Democrats are also trying to avoid a divisive replacement process, and they wanted to unify against someone who can immediately compete against Republican Senator, the incumbent, Susan Collins, in what was considered one of their top pickup opportunities this fall. But remember, we're less than 100 days out. They got to make up for that time. Election day comes very quickly.
Just to follow up on that, Fin, do you think Troy Jackson has a better shot of beating Susan Collins, or did Graham Plattner before things devolved?
Look, I think one of the things that I heard from Democrats in comparing Jackson to Plattner is that Plattner, before the scandals, was a really strong messenger for what they consider the progressive movement that's happening right now in a lot of these battleground states and districts. And he was a good communicator, frankly, and something that you really need in these tight battleground races. So one of the sort of questions I've been hearing from Democrats also is can Jackson replace him in that same vein, in that same space, as that messenger? And there is some doubt there that he can.
All right, Fin Gomez, always great to see you. Great shoveling.
Great to talk to you guys.
Thank you, Fin.